new technology could tap into a virtually limitless supply of fresh water. There's not enough fresh water to go around the planet Earth, and it's a problem that's expected to only worsen in the coming years. To meet growing demand, recycling and restricting our water will only get us so far. Scientists will need to find new sources of this life-sustaining liquid to meet our needs. One currently untapped source is the water vapor above the oceans, which is almost limitless as far as supplies go. A new study outlines how harvesting structures could be used to convert this vapor into drinking water. Eventually, we'll need to find a way to increase the supply of fresh water, as conservation and recycling water from existing sources, albeit essential, will not be sufficient to meet human needs, says civil and environmental engineer Praveen Kumar from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. He says, "We think our newly proposed method can do that at large scales." Measuring some 210 meters or 689 feet in width and 100 meters, that's 328 feet tall, roughly the height of a large cruise ship, the proposed structure mimics the natural water cycle in a way that transports, condenses, and collects water. Moist air would be transported from just above the ocean surface to a nearby shore where cooling systems could condense the water vapor into liquid. All of this would run on renewable wind and solar energy, the team says. While the researchers have not provided specifics of their design, they did crunch the numbers on the quantity of extractable moisture across 14 study sites around the world. Just one of these installations could potentially meet the average daily drinking water needs of around 500,000 people. That could be a huge addition to the desalination plants already operating in many places around the world to remove the dissolved salts from the seawater. It has not been done before, and I think it's because researchers are so focused on land-based solutions, but our study shows other options do in fact exist, says atmospheric scientist Francina Dominguez from University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. Fresh water, which is required for drinking, bathing, and irrigation, makes up just 3% of the world's water, most of which is too polluted or inaccessible for convenient use. While we've seen several promising projects that can increase our access to freshwater sources, they're still waiting for technology that can really make a difference at scale. The scarcity of safe drinkable water often hits the poorest people in the world the hardest, with knock-on effects that extend into health, security, and income. Something like the system proposed here has the potential to make a massive difference without damaging ecosystems or the surrounding environment. As part of their study, the researchers also considered the potential consequences of climate change and dry areas getting drier, but they concluded that their system would still be sustainable even as the world warms. The climate projections show that the oceanic vapor flux will only increase over time, providing even more freshwater supply, says Raman. So the idea we're proposing will be feasible under climate change, he says. This provides a much needed and effective approach for adaptation to climate change, particularly to vulnerable populations living in arid and semi-arid regions of the world. This has been published in Scientific Reports, and it's on Science Alert by David Neild. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box